Okay,
We're both
great.
good.
So we get started here in the most excellent way possible. Okay, so what are we talking about?
Oh my gosh, my $5 million idea.
All right, let me hear about it.
Okay, so background personally, I can't see you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm probably breaking up, but I can hear you just fine.
Okay, good. Okay, so my background personally is I don't know if you know this. I had a daughter that was 1 pound 7 ounces.
Wow.
And yeah, due in December, came in August. Tons of issues.
Wow.
But she wasn't the person that needed advocacy, healthcare advocacy. I was. Because the night she was born, I was about 10, well, no, they say like 5 minutes from dying.
Wow.
So that, and obviously there's a bigger story, but that's my personal buy-in. And then my experience has been as a healthcare liaison for a cajillion years. And before that, a pharmaceutical sales rep. So as in pharmacokinetics and how things work and drugs interact, I know all of that. And the background and the speaking I've done for the last 10 years or so has been to the senior community, which I'm sure you know is now the boomers, the biggest generation, just going to get bigger coming into senior citizen age. They are also the most currently wealthy coming into their senior citizen. And this concept applies to everyone. I was talking to Deanna about it, and she's the one that came out and said, I thought it did, but primary focus originally was the senior population. I'm thinking, and I have searched everywhere for even independent, standalone companies that offer advocacy. And I mean, we're talking from going with someone on their doctor's appointment, which you can't even begin to imagine how important that is. Anyone of any age should have someone go to, unless you have a cold and and that's the only reason you should be seeing a primary care physician. Everything else should be about a specialist, and you should always have someone go with you.
Fair enough.
There's just so many facts that people don't know about. And that's how I'm going to kick off my business, is because where I live in good old Amish country, there are a ton of seniors. Pennsylvania is the second highest rated senior population next to Florida.
Wow.
So once I get taped at some senior centers, and because I never taped myself because it was a part of my job. So once I get taped with different topics of conversation, and I have my business cards, and that one on the back says, oops, that's the wrong one. Did you see the gem cards?
Yep, sure do.
Best freaking card ever. And on the back, it says, spokesperson on healthcare issues. Topics include, but not limited to, how to make the most of your doctor's appointment, keep your mind sharp at any age, and fall prevention. Because I'm targeting the seniors. So I was going to do like whatever was suggested, at least 3, and have them taped.
Back door.
And then start marketing myself as soon as my website is up, marketing myself to the big buck Mennonite, you wouldn't believe money in my area, to the assisted livings and, oh my gosh, the senior communities, and there's so much money to be had. So that's how I was going to start the company, because I need immediate income because I don't currently have a job. But then when you were talking about, what's his name? Mark. I apologize. That's horrible. I started thinking where I could go with this. And I had thought about this a long time ago because I've been an advocate for everyone I know and their parents or their cousin or their hairdresser, or, you know, I'll go to an appointment and make sure they have a double appointment, and not a singular appointment. And if their provider doesn't do that, then we move on to someone that does, because they are the customer first and foremost. And I just get shit done. I'm sorry, this is being taped.
No, that's proper English. That's okay.
I get shit done.
Yeah.
I make it happen. If I don't, I know people that have the information, and I get it from them and I deliver it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the last group example, I was at my job, I was speaking, I always spoke to, we were a nonprofit home health care agency. And I said we were because they're probably going out of business. Reading City here, half mile away. I spoke to all the high towered in the city senior living buildings. And Willie Mae was in charge of all the buildings, and she was the activities director of all the buildings. And she would call me and say, I'm getting a lot of questions on this. And I'd say, I'll put a presentation together around that. Boom. So the number one was how to make the most of your doctor's appointment. When I say the presentation itself is an hour, and I would be there an hour and 45 minutes minimum. And that's like an hour and 20 with conversation segues, you know, group participation, and then a half an hour for questions afterwards. So my last one is my best example, because this gal, God bless her, had no one. Her son lived in a different state. She didn't have any family. You know, she had friends in the building, but none of which had a car that she was aware of. And she had a foot surgery, and she raised her hand to tell me about her specialist and how she doesn't trust specialists. And she's paying her $35 copay to make an appointment and go back with this man and tell him how he's ruined her life. And she has a wound that won't close, and she can't walk. And she's in pain 24/7. I was like, A, I was ready to get his name and beat him up. B, I immediately said, is there anyone, you know, I asked what healthcare system she was in, because each healthcare system, obviously everywhere, if you're with one, they all have the same providers. So I got the name of her healthcare system. I put, is anyone else out in the same healthcare system that trusts a podiatrist, you know, that has a real reference to give? And this gal on the other side of the room, this was a big room, other side of the room, raised her hand and said, I do. And then she said, I'll take her too. Place starts bawling. So she goes to the new podiatrist. I find out like a week later, next day, because there was an infection getting ready to sit in, which would have turned to gangrene, which would have been amputation. Next day she had surgery. She had home care for wound care, and she's perfectly fine walking at like 78. So there's a huge need for just that alone. And then when you look at all the other elements, I have done, so the huge umbrella idea is franchising healthcare advocacy. Because here's the thing, everybody's, well, if that's out of pocket. Well, you'd be surprised what people pay for unskilled home care. You know, when they live out of state and they don't want mom alone, or they want someone to get mom up, get her fed, do some light housekeeping, blah, blah, blah. These kids pay so much money that we are surrounded in my tri-state area with specific unskilled home care families, companies. Huge, huge money there. And that is all out of pocket. So I really had the idea, and I started researching it. And the closest even independent standalone facility I'm in South Central PA, is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is central New Jersey.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
Like standalone building, other than you call this advocate, you know, and they're working from their home because there's a million. But I just couldn't believe this was something that hadn't been done yet. Because when you're talking the future of home care, the folks coming in have the money. And someone's going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes about, I found there's a patient advocate foundation that is disease state based. So that foundation only deals with a specific disease with their advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
And they deal with getting legislature, which, you know, not happening. Another one with policy efforts. And there's one for independent people that are looking to start up their own advocate thing. And I didn't want to start up my own advocate thing because I knew it was going to be a lot of money to start it up, and I don't have it. But oh no, this is a different one. There are nationwide companies that are now dealing with businesses directly. So they're not dealing with a hospital system where they're biased because the hospital system is paying them,
right,
is writing their check. These folks are now being hired by companies individually to lower medical costs, to offer this program, offer that program. So there's that. I was completely unaware that existed. So that is going to take off leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And then comes the big one is Health Advocate Solutions, and they deal with nearly 12,000 companies nationally, 20% of which are Fortune 500. They deal with health plan or exchange and special carriers. Another strictly for cancer folks, and I don't mean to sound glib when I say strictly cancer folks, it's a disease state. So they're strictly dealing with a disease state.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are two, one that helps with the startup, like I said, of people that want to start their own healthcare advocate, and that can be any shape or form because I'm not a clinician. So everything I would do,
Mm-hmm.
I would hire clinicians for the clinician base, and there's stuff I don't want to do that I would hire people for. And but I mean, nationally, the knowledge base, the healthcare system is going to be knocked on its rear, and it's going to take the people. And the people are starting to make a difference. Well, the bigger difference they make is how informed they are. So you start informing people on how their doctor's appointments really should be going, and that the people, gentlemen or ladies, should not be looking down at their computer the whole time. They should be engaged and have a clinician taking notes and having enough time so they don't having a double appointment so they don't have to come back another time. like say Center City, Philly. Everyone goes to Center City, Philly, or Baltimore from where I live. So if you're at a specialist in Baltimore or Philly, and that's all the time we have today, well, they're taking a whole nother day off work, or they're
right.
It's a huge commitment to come back for a second appointment when everyone's ignorant about the fact that you can make a double appointment and it will be covered.
Yeah.
And if they refuse because of their time and they want volume, then you don't want to go with them anyway. I said that before, but I can't say it enough. What you think?
I think you got a pretty good idea here. I was running some numbers and stuff. You want to write all this down, I'm about to tell you. Starting at the... Okay, I took it upon myself to find out the Amish population in Pennsylvania, which is 63,700.
You're breaking up.
I'm breaking up. Did you hear me?
You were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what was it?
The Amish population in Pennsylvania is 63,785. I'm a millennial, so I'm already...
they all live here.
Yeah, looking stuff up. So you definitely want to write that down because bankers like numbers.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, sweet. So you have that. Good. So I'll delete this.
Oh, I would do all that.
Sweet. Now,
Mennonites are more likely than Amish because they have providers come to them.
Exactly.
They have midwives come to them. They are not they don't have health insurance. They, as a community, pay for everything for each other.
Yep.
So we would be looking at the Mennonite community.
Sweet. That's
the entire senior population as a whole.
Yes. So speaking of that, what I did was I decided to find out how many seniors in Pennsylvania. 16% of Pennsylvanians are seniors. Seniors, according to y.org. And then, so 16% of Pennsylvanians are seniors. So I took it upon myself to find out Pennsylvania's population. According to Google, 12.81 million as a part of 2017. So 16% in the 12.81 million comes out to 2,049,600 people in Pennsylvania are seniors. I'd say you have a viable product and a really large target base. Yep, 2,049,600,000. And as you know, bankers like numbers. Now you have you have both a broad base, which is good for business. That's a targeted sniper approach, and you have a lot of people in this broad base.
This is like so funneled in. It is.
Yeah.
It is broad based.
Exactly. My buddy Mark would love to hear about this, and I'm going to make sure he does. Now.
Really? You think? You think this is a good idea?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. When we finish, I'm going to contact him. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yippee!
Yeah, definitely. So we got that there. So let me see what else I put.
But here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing with the umbrella factor. I have no idea how being the initiator of a franchise goes. You know, because obviously I would need to start with one because I would.
Right.
But somebody is going to get it if it's not already in the works. Somebody's going to get. Now the one that's in Cherry Hill, they did their own website. There are no hyperlinks. I mean, my website that's going to be posted is better than theirs. GoDaddy. It's via GoDaddy, so nobody did it. They did their own. But they have a physical location.
Okay.
And I think in all major cities, because like I said, everybody drives for the best. At least here, Baltimore or Philly, we're about, I prefer Baltimore over Philly. I just think Hopkins is the best. But, we have University of Penn, we have Hahnemann, we have And I, in South Central PA and Lancaster County, if we were to Google, I would love to see how many of that 16% live in the county.
Well, your idea is pretty awesome to where you can take it national should you do it correctly. So I Google how many baby boomers are in America as of 2017, 74.1 million. Because you mentioned franchise of standalone, and so 74.1 million. You have a large target, a narrow target, but that is large.
Yes.
And a good idea.
And that's just seniors. This is an everybody thing.
Yes. Now, I will tell you it'd be far more better for you to think of a global approach and have a global ask, but your method will be start where you are. But you're going to ask for the national funding, but you're going to start in your hometown first and branch out. And the reason why you want to secure all that funding, for obvious reasons, you want to be ready to expand before you're desperate to expand.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And this is going to take off. And everybody is in that position where if they're paid right, well, not even if they're, well, yeah, because I'm not going to not pay right. Because like you, I want this to be the best of the best all the way around.
That's it.
And people want to make a difference. Are we not in a time where people are volunteering when they never did before? The community-based situations. I mean, people in our country really want to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So right. The gal that lives downstairs, she's a nurse practitioner and she works for a home care agency. And I said, would you consider if someone started, and she said she would love, and I quote, different.
Yeah. We're going to contact him immediately. And we're gonna make you one of those 10. There it is.
I just learned how to do this.
Definitely. So I tell you what, if this is what you were calling about, this is definitely what's gonna happen because this is pretty good, and it fits the scope. And I had no idea that this.
Isn't it? No. This is really good. Give me the really good. This is really good.
This is really good. This is really,
Thank you.
really good. And I'm hoping it to be.
And I just touched on, there's so many components to it.
Well, the healthcare field is something, what is it? $10 trillion of our deficit is healthcare?
That's why when you said healthcare or medical, I'm like, cha-ching.
That's it, yeah. If you just get 1% of that, you're at like 100 billion. Yeah, you've got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you've got a good shot here. You have a great shot here. So good. I tell you what, we're not going to say anything else because this is recorded.
And locally, I know so many people.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah. Let's keep this secret. I don't want anybody running with this.
Yeah. This is secret. This is super secret. So we're going to do that. Okay, I'm going to put you in touch with Mark ASAP, and we're going to get you here's what happens next. What happens next is I put you in touch.
Yeah, tell me what happened next.
Yeah, and you're going to start writing a business plan. He's going to help you. I'm not sure when the date will be, but it's soon. We're gathering everybody up. It's intense. It blows my mind. But we're going to start working on a viable business plan for you as fast as possible, and we're going to get your ask over $5 million. That's why I want you to think more national.
Global.
Yes. More
national. What do you want me to be? Because research is my hobby, so I could literally spend the next 72 hours a week.
So what
researching that?
Researching? Sure. You need to research what it's going to.
You want me to research globally?
I want you to research nationally. Let's research nationally. I also want you to research what it will cost in buildings, as far as how much your buildings will cost. I want you to research your equipment and how much all of that will cost. And don't hide anything.
It is so not equipment based.
So not equipment based. Great.
Because I'm not going to have, yeah.
That's good. You're starting to sound like the Uber
it's not.
healthcare. Yes, you sounded like the Uber of healthcare. People are going to call you to get their healthcare advocacy need. Yes, well, this is my brain. My brain works.
I am researching last night and today, and I literally started crying because I started this journey almost 16 years ago.
Wow.
Personally.
Yeah. Yeah. And then met me in controversy.
And I've been doing it for seniors because they're not the seniors of yesterday. They are zippy. And they want the information, really do. There's so many components that can fall under this, from clinical, which all you need is a clinician.
Yep.
And their knowledge base, and what they don't know, they go to someone that does. And I'm thinking of, when I say, here's the other thing, I don't know what I should research, because it goes, when I pulled examples of what people are doing for advocacy, it goes from estate planning to education and training to obviously appointments with them, and then the non-thinking things. Well, no, I'm in the industry. The Medicare, the initial appointment to see what they need. Mm-hmm. And in that appointment, make an appointment to go to their home and see if they have fall risks at home. And it is just, it's based on what the individual needs. And then you can just literally go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
It is the Uber.
It is. Yeah, that's the Uber healthcare. Uber of advocacy. Yeah, definitely.
I am the Uber of advocacy.
There it is. That's what that's okay. Equipment. So you will need a few equipment, maybe transportation, but not equipment as in most people. But you'll find a reason why you need equipment. Put it in there. You don't want to get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Find that, and then you want to do salaries. You want to find salaries, make all that a part of your ask, so you don't have to get it when you need it.
So I get the general national building cost. I get the national salary average. So all these numbers are based on a national average.
That is right. And you use realistic numbers, and you just make sure you're just going to make sure that you get it done properly and as much research as possible. And it's gonna have you a real deal company that we will be interested in. Real deal company. Yeah, have you a real deal company, and that's just powerful. So you're ready. That research and marketing. Don't forget marketing.
Which is going to be 25%, right? Especially for something that is blowing the ceiling off an industry.
Right. You'll want your marketing to be, you can start off at anywhere between 10-15%. And then once you prove ad revenue, I just got finished talking about ad revenue. Once you prove how you're going to make the money, then your marketing costs will make sense. You can have it realistically to, I'm breaking up. Okay. Hold on.
So what types of things?
Okay.
Because I was advertising too. So former life. Cable. These seniors in my area alone, we have a very local TV station, and whatever's on that TV station, they do. And one of my childhood friends runs the TV station.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
What am I looking at? What am I getting national averages of for which components of advertising and marketing? Am I looking for Google AdWords? Am I looking for
Google AdWords? You want Facebook
and ads?
Yep, you want Facebook ads. You also want local newspapers, local TV.
And nobody reads the paper anymore.
Yeah, but you still put it in.
Nobody reads the paper anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You want...
Not even these seniors.
You also want an ad. You also want a budget that lets you go to podcasts and bloggers and have them blog about you. You want to add that in. Maybe give you a good dollar amount for that. Would be something like $5,000 to go to popular blogs and podcasts.
I don't know. Okay, you just gave me the number. Okay, good. 5,000. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's.
I have cable, Facebook, Google, local.
Yep, and that's going to be all. That's.
I'm not comfortable with.
Well, you don't have to be comfortable.
You broke up.
Okay. You remember, you also want to put in, if you're not good at Google Ads, then you want to budget hiring someone who is.
I want to hire a marketing person.
Okay, there you go. You want to hire, so you want to put that in your ask. Here is, I want to make sure I have this much for that. So you want the marketing person, what their payroll is, plus the marketing budget. That'll be both. That'll be both.
Healthcare. I can't be a healthcare company and not provide healthcare. So do I do a national average of what a company pays in healthcare?
Yeah, absolutely.
Per employee?
Absolutely. Your banker would love that. That's for sure.
Well, you can't be a healthcare company and not have superb healthcare because you're laughed at.
Right.
In the industry. Absolutely. And then that gets around real quick and no one wants to work for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, national buildings, equipment, healthcare. How much staff should I be looking at?
Well, I'll let that question, I'll let Mark and Grace answer that question. But research.
Okay, so I don't have to research that good.
No, not well. You will,
because there's nowhere to find it because they don't exist.
Yeah.
And the place that's independent in Jersey, there is nothing on their site about cost or it's contact us.
There you go.
By email.
There you go. Yeah, so you definitely want to research as best as possible, but once you get to them, they're going to give you so much myopic training. It's narrow to what you want to do. Yeah, and your business plan, writing your business plan will help you even think even better, and you'll get all the answers from them too, without a doubt.
Do you really think this could be something?
I do. Yes, I absolutely do. I've already sent the message while you were talking.
Oh my God!
Definitely, I do. Well, yeah. Well, that's awesome. Okay, then. Well, let me. The good thing is, actually, let me stop recording. Hold on.